What it do, KTTeeV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of the Daily K Podcast. And on today's episode, we have Mr. Justin Milburn, also known as I Am Justified. Today, Justified is going to talk to the KTTeeV audience about his time in education, the dark place he came out of to earn the name Justified, his community programs, and more. Stay tuned.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? How everybody feeling? What's up, man?
How you
doing good?
Yes,
so good to be here. So good to be here,
yeah,
man.
Thank you for taking some time out of the schedule and just coming by, man, and talking to the audience.
Man,
today.
thanks to the audience, man. Let me tell y'all right now, the scene is all set up. The atmosphere is great. So I know we're going to bring them same vibes to wherever you watching us at right now. So let's get it. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir. So I guess we'll jump right into the interview, man. Just give us a little bit of background about you.
Yeah.
And, how you became a music creator.
How I became a music creator. So for me, I started off growing up, with my grandparents, my grandpa, my grandma, and my mom was in my life too, but she was in college at University of Texas in Austin. And so I was a country boy, grew up on a ranch, riding horses and, living a country life. But I would always find a way. I remember when my grandmother first gave me a video camera, and she put that video camera in my hand. I would walk around interviewing people and asking questions, and I would like to be on camera. I would even do Bible devotions on camera, Then we had family reunions, and I'll be the one dancing in the middle of the circle, and everybody was giving me money when I was dancing in the circle. So I always felt like entertainment was always there, but I never knew music was there. Music was something that I found only 6 years ago. I would always be around entertainment. I was on the step team in high school. I used to do a lot of TV show hosting, interviewing Stevie Wonder, Russell Simmons, Desmond Tutu, but went to college for that and pursuing hosting, but never knew music. And music came after a dark season in my life, and so we'll get into that. I know.
Yeah. Into that. Yeah. Okay. And so then let's go. So before we got to the music, what was your first career?
My first career was, I did a lot of different things. I used to work at Enterprise and went to college and all of that, and graduated college. But my career, where I really was like that generated the income for real, was teaching, education. I worked in education for almost 7 years. 7 years. Started with elementary. I was a founder of the technology program. So I was teaching keyboarding and PowerPoint and Excel, and then went to high school. And that's where I, pretty much learned so much about students and relationships and communication. And after my last year, I would always teach the students about following their dreams, and they were my first fans. My students were my first fans, and they would always be like, "Can we not call you Mr. Milburn? Can we call you Mr. Justified?" And so they started calling me Mr. Justified at school. So shout out to all my students, man, from generations. And they would always be like, "Man, you need to pursue your dream with music, Mr. Milburn. You need to pursue your dream with music." And I wanted to, but my faith and the time just really wasn't right, And I just believe God made it uncomfortable. He began to shift the atmosphere, shift up my environment, where it began to kind of push me to take that leap. And so now here it is, going on 2 years, doing music and community relations and community organizing full time, and it's been great, man. It's been great. Yeah.
I want to just commend you for taking that leap, man.
That was hard. It was a fight, man. I don't want to anybody to think this type of walk is easy or it's not. You don't have thoughts of fear. And what I've been listening to some books, matter of fact, and it's Joseph Rodriguez. Y'all should check out his channel. He has a lot of good books on just your consciousness and your mindset, and just how thoughts are things. How being really careful how we're listening to the audible in our voices, in our minds, and so quieting the fear for me is just really has been the battle, because everything that's on the internal, you know, it begins to manifest in our outer expression. So even this whole podcast right now, it came together first in your mind. You thought about it on the inside as an idea, and then now it's physical. And so that's the same thing when it comes to our careers and our dreams and what we want to be. Inside, the dialogue, the mentality, the mindset has to be, you know what, man, I don't understand the future or what tomorrow looks like, but I know today is here. I know today I'm making it happen. I thank you for today. I thank you for what I have today. I thank you for my future. It's going to be bright. And having that winning mindset, I believe it's an energy. And with that energy, it raises our vibration to achieve the goal we want to achieve. Some of my 4 top mentors, man, is Drake, TD Jakes, because I'm a teacher. I'm a church boy. You know, I grew up in the church. Tony Robbins, motivational speaker, and this one right here, he my wild card, Floyd Mayweather, and the pretty boy Floyd, because I can relate to him in so many different areas. You know, relate to Jake on the music, I can relate to TD Jakes with the ministry, being a church boy, I relate to Tony Robbins with the diversity and public speaking, but I can relate to Floyd because being a pretty boy, but then still proving so many people wrong, and then when everybody's against you, or when the world against you, or even when you could be against yourself, still having a winning mentality. And I believe that energy that he has made him who he is today. And so when I think about somebody like Floyd Mayweather, I look at him and I'm like, okay, wait a minute now. This guy he's successful. You know, and then sometimes, you know, people moving from a lower energy, they can discredit somebody. Oh, it's because he don't know God, or oh, it's because he lived like, nah, man, you got to give people credit. That dude is successful. His work ethic is impeccable. He's blessed. So what is he doing that I'm not doing that I need to be doing to get like that? And that's the kind of mindset I'm in. And I believe it's just in his thinking. You know, he believes it's great. You know, that confidence, it's an energy, and it just, man, it eradicates, man. Yeah.
Okay, and so let's get into the name. I Am Justified.
Yeah.
So talk to me, man, about how did that even come about? Like,
yeah.
How did you choose that name?
So, you know, to be honest, man, I can't take any credit for that name. That name came, you know, really, I believe God gave it to me, because I used to call myself Just in Time. That was a name I created myself, Just in Time. You know, my mom would call me that, Just in Time. I went by Justice. In high school, though, from Acres Home, they know me. They used to call me, come on, used to call 4-4, baby, come on. They used to call me Day, you know. But I Am Justified was a name God gave me that really, it saved my life. You know, he gave me this name when I went through one of the darkest seasons in my life. This season was so dark. If I can explain how it smelled, it stink. If I can explain how I felt, it hurt. If I can explain, you know, something I never want to go back to, it was this season, and it was depression. And when I went through this depression, you know, I began to start contemplating suicide, planning out how I was going to take my life. And it was not what people said about me. It wasn't even anything that happened from the outer. It was, again, back to that inner world, right on the inside. I was constantly saying negative things to myself, you know, beating myself down. And God began, through a friend, he came and said, man, you know, God loves you, man. In spite of what you've been through, man, you beating yourself up too hard. Man, God is he loves you. He's already done it. And it's almost was like, I felt like he was saying, God loves you, but now you need to love yourself. You know, and with those words, man, it planted a seed on the inside of me. I began to start journaling for myself. I started writing music for myself and just encouraging myself. I found out I was having a son, and it gave me something to live for. And all of a sudden, I was reading the Bible, man, and like it was like the word justified just popped out. It popped out to me, and I heard, I was like, man, it's kind of crazy, because it's kind of amazing, because it's like Justin but justified, and it was like, no, I am justified. And basically it's just saying that, you know, God affirmed, you know, God has already done it. God has hand stamped me. And so and the cool thing about it is, once I got that name, I went with it. I started making music from it, and it's amazing. And it just started. So when somebody says, hey, yo, I am justified, they're reaching out to me, but they're also justifying themselves, because they say, hey, yo, I am justified. I am justified. And that's how I knew it came from God, because it wasn't just about me. It was about the next person too. The double entendre. And perfect for a rapper, right? So, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it went.
Come on, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
Like I say, the biggest thing is about you, but it's about other people too, man.
Without a doubt.
Meaning in the name.
Yeah, my whole purpose, man, I would say my purpose would be boring just for me.
Yes.
I would get tired of myself just for me. What gives me existence and want to live and keep going is doing stuff like this, pouring back into others, seeing other people take it to the next level. I think that's why I enjoy teaching so much, because I like to see people grow. I like to see people's minds just go from one level to another level. Start off as a freshman, end up as a senior, and see how much they transitions in the process. And knowing that I had something to do with this person growing, it makes me feel so good.
Yeah, that was it for me too, man. Education
Yeah.
was really one of the only places I got that immediate gratification.
Yeah, me too.
You don't know it,
Me too.
and I teach it, and then you can show me you got it.
Exactly. It feels so good. And elementary was one of my favorite places too, because, you know, they're like little sponges. And even if, after you get on them and tell them how they messed up and did something wrong, they'll come back and hug you 1 minute later like it was nothing. They don't hold on to it. That's only something that's learned through life with older, you know, as we get older. And so I love that about elementary students, man. And I love education, which is why I'm doing school assemblies now. Still going in schools, still speaking, and actually doing some mentorship now in the schools with an organization called Iconoclast, where they bring artists in and we teach students how to write. Make it cool to write. And then that way, okay, to make this music I wrote, you know, I had to learn how to write, how to dictate, how to dialogue, and how to communicate effectively. And so it's inspiring students how to do that too.
You never know what passion you spark from just starting right there.
Yeah. So education always gonna be there, and it's definitely I got some stuff brewing that I'll be telling you about with that.
I want to just say thank you for pulling up to our announcements that day.
Oh man, that was live. Man, listen, y'all, I pulled up to the announcements, man. It was so live, man. It was so live.
Come on, man.
We had a good time up there, pulling up to rocking it, man. We had the announcements on point, and just the vibe of it was really good. You know, the kids had a good time. What was the report from the kids after we did the announcements, man?
They loved it, man.
They loved it.
It was some good stuff.
That's what's up, man.
You know, we really had a good time. Like I say, it was a break away from the norm.
Yeah.
Because we have people come in, but they just talk.
Yeah.
Nobody representing like you did.
For real?
You know, so
Come on. I know. Hey, I had to go ahead and get them some Wheaties, get them some coffee for the morning. So for the announcements, man, we turned it all the way up.
Hey.
I just imagine when I was in school, and if I was in school, and you know, you're going to school Monday through Friday, and all of a sudden this rapper comes to my class, and he's on the announcements on the TVs and performing, man, that would make me feel so good about going to school. So that was the mission with that, man.
Because you know, since I'm doing stuff like this here, I hear, you know, even when the kids say, I was looking up Hicks Elementary, and then I seen you.
Wow.
You know, so then they be like, I watch your YouTube.
Wow,
you know,
that's dope, man.
But it's just inspiring because I try to keep it all information, you know, that's just gonna push them forward.
Yeah,
you know,
and positive, man. It's always, man, without a doubt, man. For me, positivity is so important, man. It's contagious. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be around positive energy. If it's not positive energy, man, I gotta move around from it. Because again, that's like moving from a lower frequency, and then it lowers your vibration to who you are and what you eradicate into the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? So
energy is very important.
Energy is so important, man.
And man, getting back into it, so you talked about like when life started to change.
Yeah.
And so you got the name, here you go with the writing. What was the first song that you remember really penning, recording, dropping?
Come on, the first song that I like wrote. Well, actually, my first song was a song to my son, and it was called Emmanuel. And I can't find it. It was on my Mac computer, and I can't find it. It was my first song to my son, and it was like when I first found out, you know, I was about to have a baby boy, and that was my first song. And then after that, my next one was Ride For You. And it was just saying, you know, I'm going to ride for you. No matter what happens in my life, no matter what life brings for me, God, I'm going to ride for you. You know, God, I'm going to go through it all for you because I seen you went through it all for me. And that was my first song, Ride For You. So shout out to Drake Tovin on the beat for that. It was definitely a banger, you know what I'm saying? Straight up.
So now, we got those songs, but if it's one song in the catalog.
One song in the catalog.
That you will say, this is how you know I am justified, or you got to hear this What song is that, man?
I would say there had to be one song, man. Ooh wee. I'm gonna be honest, and it's not just because I just dropped it, but I would say that Legendary, just because the video, you know, it shows where I came from and where I'm at today, and it kind of gives an overall picture of who I am as an artist and what I put in the game, and it shows it, you know. So I would say probably Legendary, which is out right now. Go get it, you know what I'm saying? On all platforms, go get it right now. I always tell them what you do with the streaming, right? You find the song, you find your playlist, you add it, create a playlist for I Am Justified, and you just put it on repeat. When you go to sleep, put it on repeat. Them little pennies turn into nickels. Them little nickels turn into dimes. You feel me? So that's how I start. Yep.
And so with the music, I know you just shouted out a producer, but what producers have you worked with inside the city, and then have you kind of bailed outside the city to find some work?
Outside of the city, I'm trying to think. I haven't worked with any producers. Funny you said, I haven't worked with any producers like hand on hand outside the city yet, which is something I think I need to do. Everybody has been, you know, through YouTube, through people out of Houston, but I think that's another level of that I need to do is start working with more producers outside the city, like Atlanta, California. Get that different feel, get that different vibe, connect with other creators, and I think it expands your creativeness, but also it expands your reach, you know, and the people you reach too.
And I got a teacher named Frank Lee.
Okay.
And so Frank does all the music for my podcast.
Yeah.
But moreover, what made me think about him was he just had a son.
Yeah.
And so on his last album, he dropped a song for his son.
Wow.
You know, and it was all dedication. But when I tell you, from producing to rapping to recording, one man.
Really?
So,
everything.
Yeah. So he kind of remind me of like a Crit.
Okay, Crit, Big Crit, yeah. He official, and Big Crit got his own lane, and he has a nice following. He has a cult following where they basically ride with him. So that's dope.
That's kind of him, man. Okay, so speaking of producers working with people, if you could work with any artist right now, dead or alive, who would it be?
Any artist, dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
You know, I think just since he's one of my you know, the goals as far as, you know, my mentors for 2020, I would probably have to say I would do Drake. I would say Drake, Drake. Just because he just has a very diverse catalog. He can take you to the streets, he can take you to something positive, he can take you to the ladies, he can take you on some deep stuff, and he can rap, he can sing, he used to be in acting, that's what I used to do, be in acting. So I would probably say Drake. Just because I feel like we can vibe in the studio. I don't have to go in the studio and act like I got guns on me or try to smoke because I don't smoke. You know, I don't have to portray to be something I'm not with him. I feel like I can just be myself.
That just reminds me, like, even when I posted today about the work we was getting ready to do, my tagline was working on the weekend as usual.
As usual. Work. Oh, that's crazy. See? So you get it. Yeah. It's like and it's motivational, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he got so much music out. And I feel like Drake make music for the professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's making music for the professional? Like, everybody ain't in the trap. And salute to everybody that rap for the trap. Do your thing. But for everybody in the trap, I ain't in the trap. I don't want to be in the trap. I don't want to live in the trap, man. I want to. Who's making music for the young professional, the person who went to college, who got a degree, who's working in the career field, who making music for people when they go out and they just want to have a good time because they had a long week, work a week, and they've been dealing with people and their coworkers and everything else. I think Drake he fits that void. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't worried about you.
He getting it in, man, having a good time, living and success. You know? Yep.
Okay, so turning the page, and I was looking up the Game Changers. Which is the nonprofit. So talk to us about the Game Changers and the work you're doing.
So Game Changers was actually, shout out to Judge Clyde, man. I met this judge and he seen what I was doing in the community and he was like, man, you know, how can I help you out? I was like, man, I got this nonprofit I want to start. I don't know how to start it. It's a 501c3. You know, it's a lot of work to start a nonprofit. And he basically just helped me, like help give me the game on how to do everything and walk me through the process, and boom, now I got my nonprofit. And once I got it, I do so much work with other nonprofits. I never really knew how or what service I was going to provide. So I never really like tried to force it and push it out, because I'm like, let me just wait till I just get a clarity on what God want me to do with it, you know? And I thought about mentorship, and I was like, that's cool, but it's not really something I just really want to just do full time with the organization. I thought about being a community, like cleaning up communities around. We did a great run with that, but I'm like, yeah, it's good, but it's not that God thing. You know, it's a good thing and a God thing. I was looking for the God thing, and it got to me doing. I've been going in and out of foster homes, group homes, places where a lot of kids don't have parents, you know, and they stand in these youth facilities. And shout out to Back to Basics. And so when I went in there, I was just like, I got inspired. And I was like, man, you know what? I could see myself, you know, I always thought I wanted to start a school when I was teaching, but I was like, you know what? I could see myself starting a group home, whether it be just for young boys from ages 4 to 12. And so we had a seminar last week. Got my first training certification with that. So, you know, that's the plan. Putting it into play. Do my first group home. Faith in action. Do my first group home, and that'll be like my foundational plan. So that way when I'm 50 years old, if I don't want to rap, I don't got to, and I'm able to see lives being changed, and that's something legendary.
Okay. And so how long ago did you meet with the judge?
That happened 2000, probably like 4 years ago. Okay. So and so I've been so really Game Changer was kind of shelved for a while, because I didn't want to just do it something just to do it, and I started waking up to the revelation of it, you know. I think also my girlfriend, she played a big part, because she works in a group home, and so, you know, seeing her and talking to her, it helped inspire that idea, you know. And so
Speaking of the community, I want to say I was on Instagram today, and I seen you in a circle.
Praying. Come on, you was on it. Come on,
So talk to me about that. Cause were you in somebody's house?
So that's we with Eyes on Me, we do we have a couple communities that we go and we look to transform communities, because in different communities, especially coming from rough areas, we went from the Woodlands to Fifth Ward to Greens Point, and what we want to do is transform the culture of these communities. You know, I ask kids, I say, hey, tell your neighbor 5 things about themselves that's positive. And when I look at, you know, black and brown, you know, we don't communicate with each other in a positive way. All we normally say is, you're stupid, you're dumb, you ugly, you fat. It's like all our conversation is negative and bringing each other down. And so it took them so long just to say 5 positive things. They was like, it was almost like I asked them a pop quiz or something. And I was like, you see how hard it is for you to say something nice about somebody? That's because in the culture of this community, all y'all know is those defense mechanisms of saying those type of words. And so with Eyes on Me, we go to a community, we use music, hip hop, to bring hope. And of course, we tell them about the good news of Christ, you know, and we also just transform their lives through, you know, meal plans, setting goals, lifestyle changing. And so this is through Eyes on Me, and we've been got the opportunity with Greens Point now. They gave us an apartment where we're able to just have tutorials and studying and all that good stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on the words. I went to an event last night at Amy Middle School. Shout out to Isaac.
Hey.
So he called the parents on stage with their kids, and it was about dads, and it was called the All Pro Draft.
Okay, I like that.
And he was trying to get them in because the week before he met with the moms. He said, y'all doing the work?
Yeah.
I want y'all to take a step back. The next week, I'm going to talk to the dads.
Come on.
So he had everybody in, but the powerful part was, he said, stand up. And so look each other in the eyes and tell them what you're proud of.
Wow.
And I could see it was easy for the parents.
Yeah.
But then the kids had to do it. Man, it was
Ain't this happened this weekend?
It was yesterday.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, it was hard. And so that's something I'm really thinking about as I go into these assemblies that we got lined up for 2020 and to these schools. Plug, you need me for some assemblies, some schools, holla at your boy. I will pull up. It's really helping students started speaking the kind of conversation that they have with each other. Because when I was in school, I was bullied, you know, and bullying kind of comes with just making jokes and fun, because we don't know how to fill in the gap of space. We don't know what else to say when we're sitting by somebody. So we're like, oh man, you so dumb, you know. It's like, nah, in those quiet times, you can say positive things like, man, I like the way you wrote that up. How you wrote that up? Show me how you did that class. And I think just that conversation, that dialogue, it begins to change, and it evolves into the classroom, you know? Yeah. So that kid to the culture. So that kid that's acting up, they don't feel like they have to act up because to be seen by other people or look like they're trying to be smart, you know. They actually can be themselves because the culture is conducive. It's more conducive to a positive environment. Yes. So yeah.
Okay, that sounds good, man. So moving forward, what's next?
What's next for me is we were talking about this earlier. I think one is you know, the music. One, keeping family first, making sure to keep family first. The second thing is taking the music to just another level, whether it be getting a deal, you know, linking up with someone like a Rock Nation or linking up with an agency or an investor to really take my gift, my talent to another level, further than what I can take it, and then expanding it. Then the next one would be, you know, continue to build the Game Changers. And then I would say creating more music, more content, and staying consistent with that. But I really believe linking that platform that can launch me to where I need to go. Okay. That's what I'm expecting this 2020. Just the right connection, the right people that can just put the light on me. Yeah.
The last question, or even not even a question. Well, what kind of words can you give for up and coming artists?
Yeah.
Who really worried about what other people say?
Wow. Okay, for up and coming artists that's worrying about what other people say, I would say, you know, because that was something that I battled with that. You know what I'm saying? I think we all can battle with those type of things. You know, it's just normal. Like if somebody throw a rock or somebody say something, we're gonna receive it. But it's once we receive it, what do we do with it? Do we meditate on it? Do we harbor on it, or do we take it and throw it? Yes, sir. You know, I think take those things that people saying and just throw it. Yeah. Don't think on it. Yeah. Don't overthink it. Don't overreact on it. Don't give it no reaction. Yeah. Just look at it. Yeah. No, okay.
That was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
I think if I would have worried about what people say or worried about how I look on camera,
you would never got started, man. You know, and that's that. And a lot of times it's like it's words that are coming rooted from a place of fear, and it's not our higher self. It's coming from our lower self, which is not real. It's not reality. It's out there in nowhere land, and we only make it become a reality when we harbor on it and manifest it into the reality. You know what I'm saying? And so, just casting it down. That's it.
The only time things become a problem is when we make one.
That's it. It starts in our mind. It starts there.
Come on, man. I appreciate you.
Man, without a doubt, man. Likewise, man. It was solid.
Can you give them every piece of contact information you got, man?
Every piece of contact. You check me out on Instagram, social media, all platforms, all music platforms as well. Just type in I Am Justified Music, or just type in I Am Justified. Bookings and stuff like that, go to my website, www.iamjustifiedmusic.com, or you can email me at book.iamjustified@gmail. So
yes, sir.
That's it. That's it, man. Always a pleasure, bro. My pleasure, man. Shout out to everybody, man. KTTeeV. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you watched it all the way to the end, you're a real one. I know you got some gems. Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, we want to thank I Am Justified for stopping by and talking to the KTTeeV audience today. We look forward to the future. And reconnecting on this again after he drops some more with the Game Changers.
Yeah.
Like I say, the work in the community is very necessary.
Wow.
Very
appreciate
necessary.
that. Yeah. Yes, thank you, man.
All right. This is KT for KTTeeV signing out. 100.
We'd like to thank I Am Justified for stopping by and talking to the KTTeeV audience today.
If you'd like to know more about his career and education, the music he has coming out, or what's next for I Am Justified, go to KTTeeV.com for the full interview. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment to let me know your favorite part of this video. This is KT for KTTeeV signing out. 100.